So see what happened to India after in between 1950 to 1990.
Okay.
This is what. So over here, when we got independence, right? Of course, now we have Indian economy with us, right? So now we need to do so many things over there, right? So now the thing is that we had three options. There were three types of economy. One is the market economy, which is the capitalist economy. Okay. Second is the socialist economy, which is the socialism. And third is the mixed economy, right? First, and then second, and then third. Okay. In market economy or the capitalist economy, what was happening? Everything was under private sector, right? Private school, private hospital, everything was private. Okay.
Yes.
In socialism, everything was under government control. Okay, so we had two choices at that time. We can choose capitalism or socialism. Like we can choose the economy where everything government will be controlling, or we can choose an economy where others will be doing the things. Like private sector will be doing the
private
things.
sector.
Yes.
Hmm.
But in India choose a mixed economy, means 50-50. Like if there are government school, there will be public school as well, private schools as well. There are government hospital, there will be private hospital as well. Right? So this is what. So this is what how India basically chooses the economy. So in India we have mixed economy. Okay. Then after that, like we need to plan things, right? So now basically India decided to have a planning commission. Okay. So planning commission in 1950, India decided that we will have a planning commission who will be setting the 5 years plan. For example, your exam is on 10th. You will make a plan, timetable, that okay, on first I need to do this, on second, third, like this, right? So similarly, India also planned to do the things. And for that, India, adopted the planning commission. And who was the chairperson of that planning commission? This Prime Minister was the chairperson of this. Okay.
Yes.
Now, so first thing is that because this chapter is all about Indian economy 1950 and 1990. As I told you, if you want to grow, you need to make a plan, right? So very first thing is, what is plan, ma'am? So plan means how you are going to use your resources or how your resources should put to use. These are plans. A plan should have clearly specific goals. It should have some general goals as well as the specific objective which are to be achieved within a specific period of time. So basically, plan have some goals which you have to achieve, before a specific period of time. Okay. In India, we have 5-year plan. So 5 years plan are there, right? And these are to be, completed within 5 hours. And now the thing is that from where we got this idea of 5-year plan? So we got this 5-year plan from Soviet Union, which is USSR. Okay.
Okay.
And then there come the next one, which is perspective plan. So ma'am, what is this perspective plan now? When you make plan for 20 years, that is known as perspective plan, which is a long-term plan. Clear?
Okay.
When you make plan for 5 years, that is a 5-year plan, right? When you make plan for 20 years, right? And you have to achieve everything.
That is perspective plan.
Perspective. Yes.
Okay.
Now, why you are doing planning in India? So first of all, for growth, second for modernization, third for self-reliance, and next for equity. Okay. Now the thing is that, ma'am, why we need to make a plan? So see, we have limited resources, right? And we have to make plan accordingly, right? So that's why we have to make plans. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Let's just understand first, ma'am. Another question is why we need to achieve. Why there is a need of plan? Because there are limited resources. That's why we need to make plan. Now the thing is that, okay, if you are doing a planning, what is your common goal? So ma'am, my first goal is to get growth. So growth is basically increasing the capacity of the country to produce the goods, right? Growth means, for example, you have 2 cars. Now you have 4 cars. So that is a growth.
Yes.
Second, over here, earlier you had less transport, like transport route were very less, but now you are everywhere. The transport connectivity is there. So this. Then efficiency of productive capital is also good. Earlier, you were with the help of one machine, you were producing 2 chocolate, but now with the same machine, you can produce 10 chocolate. Like this. And also because of this, GDP of a country, it also increases. If GDP increases, that means more and more people are contributing to the economic growth. Clear?
Gross domestic product. What do you mean by that now?
This is gross domestic product is basically the market value of all the goods and services produced in a country. For example, over here, you are producing chocolates, right?
Okay.
If you are producing 2 chocolate, one chocolate is for 10 rupees. So your GDP is 20 rupees, right?
Okay.
But if you're producing
Yes.
10 chocolates, then your GDP is 100 rupees. Why? Because one chocolate is for 10
10.
this. So when there is growth in your productive capital and transportation is there, plus your efficiency is increased, automatically your GDP will grow, right? You
Yes,
will be
ma'am.
able to produce more, right?
Okay.
And automatically
Yes.
your GDP will increase, and because of that, there will be economic growth in the country. Like your country is earning more money.
Yes.
Then next second goal was adopt this modernization. Now our main motive is to adopt the new technology to produce goods and services, right? That is the modernization. Okay. Modernization earlier, for example, you have one machine. With the help of that machine, you can only produce 2 chocolates. But now you have a bigger machine, you can produce 10 chocolates. Right? So that is a modernization. You adopted something new, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
modernization doesn't mean that you have to only adopt the technology. It means you have to modernize yourself as well, your thinking as well, right? So earlier there was
Yes.
a tradition that women cannot work, women should remain in the houses and all that thing, right? But now, because modern country is there, so they are basically increasing the things, they are increasing their productivity in a very good way. Clear? Hmm.
Yes.
Then self-reliance. Now, if you are planning something, self-reliance means this: avoiding the import of good which you can produce itself. Like you don't have to purchase anything from other. You can simply make the things on your own. Okay. So first of all, why
Can
self-reliance
you
is
repeat
important?
it, ma'am, once again?
Yes, self-reliance is basically that, for example, earlier I can cook, I know how to cook, but there are few dishes which I
Okay.
cannot. Right? For example, I can cook rice, I can cook, the you can say vegetable soup and all that, right? So,
Okay.
but I cannot make pizza on my own. So pizza I need to order it from others, right?
Okay.
Maybe online or something. But self-reliance
Okay, so
means
you are depending on someone.
yes,
Selfless.
self-reliance
Okay.
means you will avoid that.
Avoid it and depend
Whatever
on
you can
yourself.
cook, yeah, you
Independent.
have to produce everything from, like
Okay.
earlier, for example, we were importing so many things from other country, right? For
Huh.
example,
Right.
every day you are bringing lunch for me, right? So
Mm.
somewhere you will be like that, you will try to dominate me because somewhere you are favoring me, right?
Yes.
So this is
Yeah.
what. So first of all, why they should go for self-reliance? Because that will somewhere reduce the dependence on foreign country, right?
Yes.
And they will not dominate us. Then
Yes.
plus, if you are, like for example, you are dependent on food product for someone else, they will try to interfere in your policies. Sometimes, for example, you are providing me food. Sometimes you will be
Yeah.
like, you should not eat this. This is not healthy. You will try to interfere in my policies because you are like you are helping me a lot, right?
Hmm.
So if you want to
Right.
avoid all this, you should have a self-reliance country. Then equity. Equity means, you will read this, equity means to ensure that the benefit of economic prosperity reach to poor section as well instead of being enjoyed by only rich. For example, let's just understand this equity and equality. This is person A, okay?
Hmm.
This is person B, okay? And this is person C,
Okay.
okay? So now this a match is going over here, right? So for example, I give one block to each, one block. Okay, so now this one is here, this one is here, and this one is here. I give equality means I am providing equal thing to everyone, right?
Hmm.
But
Yes.
equity means, for example, this person need 3, right? So that he can also reach here. This
Hmm.
person need 1, but this person is already up, so he don't need anything,
Hmm.
right? So this is the
Yes.
equity. Like I'm distributing everything in such a way that it is not being enjoyed
Everyone
only by rich.
is getting.
Everyone
Okay.
is becoming equal, right? Student
Hmm.
get confused between equity and equality. Equality means giving everything in an equal way, right?
Including me,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Equity is according to the need we are giving, right? Who
Okay.
need more, we are giving them more. Who need less, we are giving them less. Clear?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So now, first of all, you will start reading from here,
Okay.
from plan. Plan you need to this, then goal. Just give it a quick reading because that will be somewhere stick to your mind.
Yes. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what do you mean by this sentence? The goal may actually be in conflict. The highlighted one.
The goals may actually be conflicted. See, sometimes it's like your goal is to achieve growth, modernization, self-reliance, and equity,
Equity,
right?
yes.
But it will
Yes.
somewhere conflict, right? For example, modernization means you will introduce more technology, right?
Hmm.
But over here, if you will bring technology, then automatically it will leads to less employment, because earlier four people were
Okay,
doing the work,
yeah,
but now
right.
because of machine, this is right. So again, it is conflicting,
Okay,
right?
yes.
So you need to plan the goal in a such way that they are not, contracting, or they are not being conflicted with.
Hmm. Okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Next. Yes, ma'am. Next. Ma'am, the sentence, the GDP of a country is derived from the
Hmm.
um
Different sectors. Why?
different
Because,
sectors.
yeah, for example, from industry you are earning this much, from agriculture you are earning this much. So GDP is not
Okay.
from only one sector. We have different sector now.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Makes up the structural and sectoral composition of the economy. What do you mean by that?
It means it is making a composition. Like, for example, this is a composition that 50% from here, 20% from here, 30% from here, like this. That's a composition according to sector
Okay.
wise. That 30%, that agriculture sector contributed 30% to the GDP. This contributed 50, like this.
Okay. 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 Yes. Ma'am, just give me a minute. I want
Okay,
to
sir.
go to the washroom. Sorry.
No issues, no issue.
Yes, ma'am. Just scroll down. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Self-realization. Ma'am, what do you mean by the first 7 5-year plans? What is like 7 5-year
See,
plans?
for example, whenever you made the first 5 year plan, 5 years got
Mm.
complete. Then you made the second 5 year plan, then third, then fourth, then five.
Okay, okay. So 7 5 years plan.
Yeah.
Okay, right. And also, what do you mean by freed, ma'am? Recently freed. The first point, second line. In self-reliance, the
In
policy
self
was considered. Second sentence. It is
first.
understandable that people who were recently freed from foreign. No, ma'am, the first point,
Okay,
second
okay,
sentence.
this one. Okay, it is.
Yes.
Okay, so over here, it is understandable that the people who are recently freed from the foreign domination. For example, India, it was under a control of Britishers.
Hmm.
So India got recently freed from the foreign domination, right? So over here, if like
Free.
sometimes,
Like being free.
yes,
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry.
yeah, it's freed means you are free now.
Okay, freed. Right. Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Now, first of all, what were the initiative taken in the agriculture sectors? So
Mm-hmm.
first of all, land reform were done. Now the question is, ma'am, why there was a need of land reform in India, right? So
Okay.
at that time, when we were on the eve of independence, we got to know that India was like zamindars were there and all that, right? So
Yes.
basically, these were the situation over there. And then what happened in India? Like they used to collect a lot of tax and rent and everything, right?
Huh.
Now, in India, there was not a sufficient agriculture, right? So what happened? They Indians started, importing the food material from USA. Okay. Now, what happened at that time? Uh, for example, I'm giving you the food, right? So I'll be giving you suggestion
Okay.
as well, right? That you should do this, 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 this. right? So
Okay.
India started importing from this. Then equity in agriculture sector, like then they decided that it will be bringing land reform, because we don't want to purchase it from someone else. So first of all, first thing is that, ma'am, what is land reform? So land reform is basically changing the ownership of the land, right? So over here, what they
Okay.
did, they abolished the intermediaries like zamindars and all that. Plus,
Hmm.
they fixes the maximum size. That maximum you can have this much of land, right? So
Okay.
these were the types of land. First of all, abolition of
Ma'am,
intermediate. Like
what do you mean by tillers?
tillers means the
The owners.
people, the farmers. You can say peasant who are working on the
Okay.
agriculture field, right?
Okay. Okay.
So, for
Hmm.
example, I have this my house and this my garden, or this is my
Hmm.
agriculture field. So over there, the people who are working, they are tillers,
Tillers.
right? So
Okay.
land reform, we need to choose it. So first of all, they abolish all the intermediaries like zamindars and all that. They abolish everything, that from now onwards nobody will be collecting the tax and all that.
Hmm.
Then the
Okay.
ownership of the land holding, over here, what they did, the people who are working on the land, they
Hmm.
are the owners. This is what they bought.
Okay.
Okay. Then land ceiling means maximum you can have this much of land or this much of property. Others, for example, I said you can have only 4 land, right?
Hmm.
So if you have fifth one, so the fifth one automatically will go under government control. This was
Okay.
the land ceiling. Now
Okay.
there were some drawbacks as well. First of all, what happened? The goal of equity was not fully served by the abolition of intermediaries. Like though you abolished intermediaries, right? And
Yeah,
this
there are
policy
few
was given, but
left still.
few zamindars were there, right?
Hmm.
They were using they were like loopholes are there. See, there are so many traffic signals or traffic rules, right? But still, don't everyone is not following that.
Yeah.
Loopholes are there, right?
Yes.
Similarly, over here, what people were doing, people were not giving the tillers the ownership of the land, right?
Hmm.
They were somewhere dominating them, because richer are rich. They always dominate the
Yeah.
poor people. Then
Yes.
over here, land ceiling, there was a land ceiling that you can have only 4 land, 5 land, but you cannot have more than that, right? But what people were doing, for example, I have a relative, I have 5 lands, right? Five, you can say, gardens or 5 agriculture land, right? So over here, what I'm doing, I can, according to the law, I can have only 4, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll be, shifting that fifth property to my on name of my relative or my cousin or anyone, so that it remains inside our family and it is not going to the government, right? So again, land
Yes.
ceiling was not, you can say, clean sheet clear.
Hmm.
Then over here, land reforms were successful in Kerala and West Bengal, because over there government, somewhere committed the policy land to the tiller, but it was not overall good for all the states. It was only good to the limited states only. Clear?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
So now, first of all, you will read land reform, then
Okay.
what were the land reform, and then drawbacks.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Shimza. Now coming this one, just leave the last one, then we'll do the next one.
Okay. Done, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to green revolution. What is green revolution? It is basically to increase the production. You are going to increase something. Okay. Like for example, you want to increase the agriculture things in your country. So you will be doing these things. Agriculture, the green revolution. Okay.
Yes, my teacher said this is important.
Very, very important.
Yes.
Right. So over here you are going to use the HYV seed, which is high yielding high yielding variety seeds. Okay. Now the question is why green revolution was implemented, right? As I told you, India was somewhere, purchasing it from agriculture. Just a minute, okay? Just read the first one.
Okay, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this why the green revolution was implemented, right? So these are the things that earlier we were purchasing everything from others, right? So over here, what happened? That they insisted us that you should do this, you should do that, like this. So over here, when someone insists you, so what you did, like they told us there was a situation in India when you were unable to do the things, like unable to do the things in the sense that like you don't have any other you can say you don't have any other option to do the things. So over there, for example, you are purchasing everything from me, right? So I will give you
Mhm.
an option that I will give you these things from next time if you do this, right?
Okay.
Definitely I'll do that, right? So this is what
Mhm.
they did, that they somewhere told that until and unless you will not change your strategy toward this, you won't be getting anything. So that's why India adopted this agriculture and they were like, okay, okay, sir, please give us the loan, but we will definitely work on our production and we will implement the new things, right?
Okay.
Because of this, green revolution was implemented in India. Clear?
Yes.
Read this, you'll get to know.
Okay. Ma'am, what do you mean by infrastructure?
Infrastructure is basically like, for example, roads, railways, all these are infrastructure.
Okay. Okay. The stagnation, what do you mean by that, ma'am?
It's totally stopped.
What, ma'am?
Stagnation means it is not growing at all.
Okay.
Okay? That is stagnant. Not even growing, not even zero.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the benefit of green revolution. Okay. So first of all, it increases the market surplus. Earlier you don't have food, right? But now you are using the production and all that. So it increases the market surplus. Okay.
Yes.
Then plus the food grains price also fall. Why? Because earlier it was not, there was stagnation in the economy and everything was very low. Right? When you have
Mm.
limited product, the prices increases, but now prices decreases.
Mm.
Then buffer stock. Now because new are using new technology and all that, there was a buffer stock. Then self-reliance. India now became the self-reliance. It is no longer dependence on the America or any other nation for meeting the nation food requirement. Right?
Yes.
But there were few people who just critically evaluate this green revolution. They said that the farmers would could benefit from HYV seeds along. See, they said that they can benefit the thing only when they are using this HYV seed along with the other technology, right? For example, you don't have any other technology, you have only seed. Can you produce the product? No, right?
No.
Because you need other thing as well. So this was the first critical insight that apart from this, you need other things. You have to focus on other thing as well. Then
Mm.
second, in the first phase of green revolution, the use of HYVCs was restricted to the more of the states like Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. It was focused on more, while other areas it was not focused much, right?
Okay.
And then these HYV seeds are basically they are very sensitive. They are prone to attack of pests, and the small farmers who adopted this technology could lose everything in the pest attack. So, for example, if there is a pest attack, you will lose everything, right? So
Okay.
this is what the thing. Clear?
Like, what do you mean pest attack, ma'am? Like,
Pests
what
are
is it?
basically the insect which destroy the
Okay.
crops.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what do you mean? The last sentence. The required inputs reaped. Reaped. What do you mean by reaped?
Reap
The
is
benefits.
basically reap means whatever the crops you grow, when you are going to reap it, when they are in the state that you can use them or you can cut them. These are the reap.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
so only the big farmer who could afford the required input reap the benefit of the green revolution. So see, reaped means
Okay.
like
Right.
they
Right.
can only if along with HIV seeds you have other benefit. So they can only they are getting the benefit of this green revolution. Others are not using this benefit, right? Because only
Hmm.
with the help of seeds you cannot produce everything.
Hmm. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Done. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now what is government to doing? Government is doing to ensure that green revolution also benefit the small farmer. So
Hmm.
first of all, government is providing the loans at low interest rate to small farmers. Plus, government is giving subsidies on the fertilizers who can eat and other inputs. Okay.
Hmm.
Plus, the risk of small, like they are like because for example, I produce the crop and all my crop there was a pest attack. My all the
Okay.
crop ruined. So government is also providing a benefit that they are providing you the if in case pest get your crop get addicted through pest or something, they will be giving you something. The services will be there. Plus there are few institutions where you can claim your things that this happen and that. So these are the thing government is doing so that maximum people or maximum farmers get benefit of this green revolution. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Government. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, over here, the occupation structure of Indian economy. You can see in 1950 to 1951, it was 72.1, then 66.8, 10.7, 12.7, 17.2, 20.5, right? So this is the agriculture sector. So over what happened, despite of implementation of green revolution, more than 65% of the country's population continued to be employed in the agriculture sector in 1990 to 1991. Why? Agriculture, you can say the portion is really high, right? Why? Because, for example, the reason is that industrial sector and the service sector did not absorb the people working in the agriculture sector, because in industrial sector and service sector you need the skilled people, right?
Hmm.
So they are not ready to take the people who worked in the agriculture sector, right? So that's why this is the reason that in spite of the implementation of green revolution, more than 65 of the country they were totally dependent on the agriculture sector because of this reason. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, quickly read it out and then like that's it for today. And in the next
Okay.
class, we'll just start with the next topic, subsidies, which is very, very important.
Okay, okay, ma'am.